This was a call to action for thousands in the area, calling out policies from President Trump and Elon Musk. Their main message wrapped in 2 words.
Demands shouted from Daley Plaza.
We will not be silenced.
Joined a nationwide plea through the loop. As thousands protested President Trump, billionaire Elon Musk, and the administration's efforts to downsize the government by gutting federal agencies. Rise up! The demonstrators' initiative called Hands Off.
I'm really worried about kids' access to education going forward.
I teach at a school that's like 99% black, that is 100% low income, and my students are directly being threatened by the Trump administration.
A chorus of demonstrators was seen from the city to Berwick, Gurnee, and Joliet. People who rallied Saturday included civil rights organizations, labor unions, LGBTQ+ advocates, veterans, and elections activists.
This administration is using trans people as a cudgel, and let me tell you, it is pathetic.
They say the Trump administration is rolling back civil and human rights while affecting the economy. Many concerned about Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid.
I'm just getting ready to retire, and now I have to worry about my Social Security. Some things that I never thought I'd have to worry about in my lifetime.
And an anonymous Illinois GOP spokesperson responding to the rallies and
Yep. All right. Shalom, shalom. I want to give all praises, glory, honor, and power that is due to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shah, Bahashim Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles at Great Millstone, those who rule well and who I learned this truth from. And salutation to the brothers stiffly pushing this one truth, and all sincerity and diligence, risking both your lives and freedoms to do so. All right. Shalom to the rest of the elect.
this was a call.
All right. As we all await the second Exodus coming quickly by the hands of Lord Yahweh Shah. All right. And we know this is pretty much what they wanted, you know, to cause you people to, you know, to begin to revolt, you know, sedition, you know, protests and uproars of the people, you know, is all prophetic. You know, this is one of the main key indicators, you know, of the times that we're in, man. All right. And with this dude, Trump, and, you know, Elon Musk and the Department of Government Efficiency, you know, and all of the different executive orders and tariffs that they're putting on the world has got people in a fucking frenzy, man. You know, because, hey, prices are about to go up, man. You know what I'm saying? If you haven't been paying attention, shit's about to get bad out here, you know, and you have a lot of cuts and whatnot that's taking place to these particular agencies due to, you know, due to Doge. And you had these protests that erupted, all right, with tens of thousands of protesters on Saturday, okay? And they're calling it the hands-off protest, you know? And ultimately, hey, this thing is gonna lead to chaos, man. Because, hey, Trump he's not gonna stop. He's not gonna slow down. You know, he's pretty much doing what his handlers are telling him to do, and that's to cause chaos, man. We know that the elites operate off of ordo ab chaos, you know, which is order out of chaos. Okay, so they gotta make things get fucking bad out here, man. You know, unlivable. You know, just completely unreasonable and bad. You know, but scriptures tell you that, hey, in Revelation 12:12, all right, rejoice ye heavens, you know, and ye that dwell in them. The devil has come down to you having great wrath because he knoweth he had a short time, man. So with this devil knowing his time is up, you know what I'm saying? He's coming down with wrath. You know, he's enacting all these policies, passing his executive orders, you know, putting tariffs on everybody, knowingly that that's going to ultimately reflect on the consumer, that you're going to have to pay the difference, man. You know, the companies, you know, aren't going to just absorb that. No, they're going to reflect those costs by increasing the price of these goods and things, man. You know, and so people are fed up with this administration, and this dude is really just getting started, man. You know, we're what, 5 months, 4 or 5 months, into his administration, and look how bad things have gotten already, man. And hey, this is all by design, because Yahweh Bashim Shah is pushing this spirit in the earth, man. Okay, it says millions of Americans gathered across the country to protest policies of President Trump's administration. Videos shared on social media show streets packed with demonstrators in cities including New York, Boston, and the National Mall in Washington, D.C. All right, it says with more than 1,400 hands-off rallies held across all 50 U.S. states. Okay. The hands-off movement has united over 150 advocacy groups, including civil rights organizations, labor unions, veterans, scientists, and, alphabet activists, which pretty much, like I said, they need this chaos, man. So this is why they're ramping up, and they're doing these unrighteous decrees, because they want this reaction out of you people, man. Matter of fact, let's jump into these precepts. This is 2 Ezra 9:1. It says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. So there are signs, all right, of the times to let us know, that Yahweh Bashim Shah is visiting this place, man. There was just a 7.7 earthquake in, I want to say Myanmar, somewhere over there in Asia, which deleted thousands of people. These earthquakes have been back to back nonstop, man. Magnitude 7s and up, and hey, earthquakes is one of those major signs, man. Okay. It says, Salaki, it says, verse 3, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. See, and we're seeing those signs, man. Earthquakes, like I just mentioned, earthquakes everywhere. All right, uproars of the people. Okay, we know that the New Madrid fault line, okay, is overdue for an eruption. They're saying it is overdue for the series of earthquakes to hit that fault line, man. And we're in those times to where, hey, anything is possible, man. Dealing with Yahweh Bashim Shai, he's about to shake shit up, man. You can feel it in the air. Something bad is about to happen, man. You know what I'm saying? And this is a key indicator, of the end of the end times, man. It says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath the beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. You see, the end of this man's age is manifested, man. People no longer give a shit about this government, man, this administration, because really, they realize now that the rule has never been in the hands of the people. All right, you pretty much got an oligarchy, it's pretty much being ruled by the elites, the wealthy, that's pulling all the calling all the shots, and with your best interest is not in mind here. See, so now you're gonna have a lot of sedition and people rising up. All right, that's why, brothers, we mentioned that camp, that Luigi dude that knocked off that CEO. And that's how a lot of these Americans feel, man. People was praising him for that. Brother brought out, hey, they was pretty much sending his ass money, man. Large donations, because that's the sentiment. The poor is fed up with the rich, man. So this is going to happen. There will be wars, civil wars, and chaos and all types of shit that's going to ensue on American soil, man, because, hey, quite honestly, man, this is pretty much it for this place, and things aren't going to get better. All right. It says 2 Ezra 15:16, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. See, sedition is riots, you know, inciting people to rebel against the government, man. You know, all right, you know, revolution, man. It says, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and of course their actions shall stand in their power. Yeah, they're not going to regard the government, the law enforcement. You know, people are going to take matters into their own hands, man. You know, you see, because they realize that this administration, this government is not for them. And I don't know why the hell it took you people so long to realize that. But hey, the Most High put this spirit of sedition in the earth, man. He put this spirit in the earth for these people to rebel, you know, to get fed the fuck up. So that way all chaos and all hell will break loose, man. And especially with them tariffs and the coming famine and scarcity of goods, you know, that's really what's going to cause a lot of tribulation, man. So we're in them times, all right? And I just wanted to do this brief lesson because this is a key indicator, man, of you know, we're at the end of this, man. Shit, man. So Lord willing, you know, in the coming months, you know, we got summer coming up. You know, you motherfuckers getting ready for a hot girl summer and shit. You know, hey, this shit might be the last one, man. You know, you never know what the Most High has causes to happen, man. You know, because we just had those a blood moon, you know, followed by a partial solar eclipse, you know, within the span of the last couple months. So these are heavenly signs of the Most High, omens, you know, that he's done with this place, man. All right, and Lord willing, we get delivered up out of here very soon, man. But that's pretty much it. I'm gonna give all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shabbat Shem Rakakadash, DTA Wababa Ball, Shalom.